One more Algebra 1 rule that you need to remember is that if you have a radical sign around your x, then that can be rewritten as a fractional exponent. You learned in Algebra 1 that the power of this x, that x is raised to the power of 1, so the power goes on top. This is a square root, so the root goes on 2, power on top, root on bottom. But basically, anytime you see a square root around an x, that is not going to be a polynomial. So over here under the not okay, I have an example of an expression written down here. It's an algebraic expression, but it cannot be considered a polynomial because we have that variable x. It's being raised to the third power, and then some people may look at that and say, oh, my x, that's okay because my x has a positive 3, but it's not okay because that can be simplified or rewritten. Whoops. It can be rewritten as x raised to the power on top, root on bottom. So that would be raised to the 3/2 power. And since it can be rewritten, just like this one right here can be rewritten as x to the negative 1, this can be rewritten as x, and now that variable has an exponent that's a fraction, and so that's not okay. So you do have to remember your algebra rules to make sure you find all these hidden secrets that are not okay for polynomials. So there's nothing wrong with that algebraic expression. It'll have a graph. It'll have, lots of things. It's just not a polynomial. So it's not going to fit into the group of problems that we're working with. Just like when we just finished working with nothing but quadratics, there are tons of other kinds of algebra equations that have solutions and graphs and everything, but we were specifically studying quadratics. Well, now we are specifically studying these polynomials, and so I don't want you to start thinking that there's anything wrong with having x raised to the 3/2. It's not, except if you're studying polynomials. This is not a polynomial.